Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate the support either way, cuzzy. My name is Joe Josh. I go by iChart Daily. Today is Monday, March 25th, 2024. We're going to go over Bitcoin. We'll go over Ethereum. We'll go over ADA, Algo. I'll go over a couple of them with you. They're all going to move just at different times because it's called the transfer of wealth. So, this is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. I've been doing this for 17 years. I'm trying to regurgitate all that information and put it into about a 10-20 minute video for you guys. So, first things first, let's go over facts. Most important things. Long-term trends predict short-term outcomes. If the monthly still has room to grow and the monthly still remains bullish, nothing matters on the 7-minute. The monthly is what matters. The monthly has not lied to us in 10 to 12 years. What I mean by that is when you look at a chart and the MACD has golden cross in section A, which is above the histogram, the RSI has golden cross, meaning the blue line has went above the yellow, use the 50 as support and has room to grow. That is bullish, regardless of the ticker or the chart we're looking at. Very simply put, we'll just back test it real quick. Golden cross above, 50 to 90, we went up, right? Death cross down, we went down, we went down, we went down. Golden cross, we went up. Very simple. So you look and evaluate the longer term trend first. We're bullish. We then go to the weekly. Understanding that we have room to grow, I'll keep it very simple. I've said this 1,000 times. You could see these waves are getting lower and lower each time. So if we were to just draw a simple line like this and connect the three tops around, right? We're looking for around numbers. I'm not a genius, but I could figure out around numbers. I'm going to use the bottom of this support as present resistance, and I'm going to say that's around the next top. So since we have room to grow to where I think the next top could be, that makes me very confident that the weekly, like I said, was just a healthy consolidation and another pump to the upside. Okay, now let's go over the facts. The most important thing that I was saying on this chart was, do we come down and break the moving average? If that was the case, we were expecting more blood. We did not, okay? It's if this happens, then this happens. We did not break, and because the weekly is now pointing up, I'm expecting green from the daily, okay? Now, the first thing that you need to understand is the MACD looking like it's about to golden cross above the zero line? And yes, this is the zero line. This is section A. When you have golden crosses above zero lines, you have the potential to break the previous high and make higher highs. The most important thing on this chart is we did have a healthy consolidation from 74,000 down to 61,000. But the RSI after the Batman ears came down to the 70 line and formed a beautiful inverse head and shoulders on the 50. The importance of an RSI going from overbought to oversold, but the oversold stays in section A, it shows that this will be a continuation to the upside, and we did not break the low here of 60,000. So with that being said, golden crosses and this break here, golden cross, shows me that we have room to grow, right? That's all I'm looking for. And room to grow back where? Well, we were overbought here. We were overbought here. So we have room to grow back up to at least the 70, and then potential greed levels of around the 78 back to the 84, right? And now we're betting longs with the longer time frame turning bullish, right? If the long-term trend is bullish and you're looking to open up shorts, your short is going to be short-lived. If you're opening up longs when the longer time frame is bullish, well, let's look here. Simple strategy, not financial advice. This was when the long-term trend was bearish. This is when the long-term trend was bullish, okay? So I'm gonna just sidestep for a second and just explain. Long-term trends predict short-term outcomes. The most important thing to me, which should be the most important thing to you, is are the swings going up or are the swings going down? Because once again, if the long-term trend is bearish, the swings are coming down. You should be looking to get your money, open up a short, right? Here's what happens when you open up a long during a long-term trend, bearish downtrend. You made lower highs each single time and broke support and made lower lows each time. This is when you hear the saying, everyone's a genius during a bull market, because you could buy when the asset is extremely overbought and yet it went to another overbought level on the way up. Now, another thing I want to explain. You could see golden crosses and death crosses, right? Let's zoom back. You could see golden crosses and death crosses, right? These lie to you because, well, you had a golden cross here, but we made a lower high, right? We had a death cross here, but we made a higher high. So once again, the most important golden cross and death cross and the most important overbought and oversold is the time frame that has not lied to you yet, which is the monthly, right? Golden cross, we're going up. Death cross, we're coming down. We're still have room to grow. We're going up. Now, on the weekly time frame, we have used the 11 and 21 day moving average as support during the bull market. We came down, boom, touched the 11 day at 59,60,000, right up, okay? This is the importance of the 11 and 21 day during the bull market. We came right back down to it and touched it. So on the daily, you can see volumes coming down. We're about to break the moving average. We have room to grow. This now looks like a rounding bottom, right? We came all the way down. We're coming all the way back up. Usually during a rounding bottom, I would put a alert here at 69.2. It might happen right when you're watching it, and I do think we fill the bottom and we come back up to 72,000 right here to potentially 73,445 again. Now, the most important thing is, do we break that and make another higher high, right? Because we did this, higher low, higher low, higher low. Okay? So, room to grow out of Bitcoin. So then we go to some altcoins, right? Let's go to Ethereum. They all will move if Bitcoin's moving. Just some will move more or less depending on the circulating supply and everything else. I already opened up my position, hypothetically. So, once again, looks pretty much the same, right? But this one might have a little bit more room to grow. You can open up your long here, stop loss right here at 34,122, right? You understand that this is the current trend, right? And you understand the most recent low is 34.29. I don't think it breaks that. You could go right below. Take profit levels are going to be here 3%, here 5.5%, here 9%, here 12%. I mean, you could pick any levels on the way up, cuzzies. They're going there, right? And the most important thing is you want to see the chart that has the next golden cross or death cross to help you understand the when, right? These charts look like they're forming ascending triangles, right? They've had resistance here for since the 19th, and usually these are measured moves to the upside to help you understand where profit is going to be. Right back there, right? 3,800 was resistance, was support, was support, was support, was resistance. So that's my move right there, here, there, 6%. Let's do ADA. I bet you they all look the same. I called this move days ago, cuzzy. Join the Discord. This is the importance of understanding long-term trends and short-term outcomes, right? Long-term trend on the weekly. What were we doing? We were forming this beautiful support right here, right? Support, support. We went up, we came down, support. Went up, came down, support. So all you got to do is just draw a little line there, okay? Now, resistance, right? Support lines go to the bottom of the waves. Resistance lines go to the top of the waves. And you can see here we did 1, right? We popped up, boom, support, support, support. So now, do we have room to go back to resistance? The most important thing here is I am seeing somewhat hidden bearish divergence, but only out of the RSI. So the RSI did make a lower high while the price action made a higher high. It's kind of strike one on the bearish side, showing me that this pattern, which is a rising wedge, could have maybe one last hoorah, and then we have a consolidation back to the 41 cents. Calling that now, okay? Calling 42 cents now. That might happen 2-3 months from now. After the pump up back to 77 cents to potentially 90 cents, extremely overbought, then we come down. But right now, you can see here, we were here. You needed to have the RSI prove itself. It also did an inverse head and shoulders. Inverse head and shoulders when you have one low. We came down, made another low, a lower low. We came back up and formed a higher low. Now, the most important thing here is what? Do we go back into section A? If we go back into section A, we're pumping and we have room to grow until we're extremely overbought. So, ADA, long here. Stop loss below the most recent low here. You're looking at, once again, just even back to these levels, right? 9%. Well, let's keep it chart. Let's keep it tight. 6% to 12%. And I would zoom into the 12-hour just to see the pop. Something like this. Something like this. Measured move to the upside. Yeah, right about there. Right, I'd say the 70s, yeah, 69 to 70 cents. The reason is there's a lot of confluence there. You could see it was resistance, was support, was support, was support, was support, was support, was support, was resistance. That means that 7.0701 is a key level, and that's going to be probably your first resistance level, being up 7%. Another thing is when you're looking at alts, you must look at them versus Bitcoin as well. You can see here that ADA is forming a falling wedge. Falling wedges usually break to the upside, so ADA could pump to its next all-time high when this chart starts to pump as well. This is not my opinion. Back test that you could see even right here on January 10th. If we go here, right, January 10th, we went from 46 cents to 62 cents. So once again, we're looking for just a little pumpy pump out of this chart. What we're looking for here is, once again, we want it to prove itself. ADA will go flat unless ADA versus Bitcoin pumps. It'll excuse me. ADA will go if Bitcoin goes, but what you're looking for is the break of 70 cents, and then this is the real move, right? From here to here, you're looking at 25 to 30%, right? This is just the break of market structure right now, right? It formed its bottom. What I do think potentially is like this, right? It could go up, then you want to see it come back down, form another high, and then pump again or somewhere over here. Right, because the most important thing is when we are at 69 to 70 cents, where's the RSI going to be? If we're at overbought and we're at 70 something cents, then this was a nice run, right? It went from 57 cents to 70 cents, went up 20 something percent, and had its first little pumpy pump, right? Same way here. Right here, we pumped up, we could come back down, form higher lows, and then pump up again. Go back up, come back down, form higher lows, pump up again in that rising wedge. Let's go to XRP. Long-term trend first, right? Long-term trend is this. You could see here, death cross, we came down. Golden cross, we went up. Death cross, we came down. Golden cross, we're slowly treading up. Higher lows each time. I do think this is the current trend. I do think we could come back to 93 cents to potentially $1.20 something, but I do think that that is major resistance. I've said this time and time again, this chart that is playing out is very bullish. This would take us to about $5.89, the 589 theory. When does that happen? When we break resistance. It's just that simple. As of right now, I like to plan to go back to resistance. This is still a great play from 65 cents. Excuse me. This would be 44 to 88%. Once again, when does that happen? When this chart goes from this red line to this red line, or even just back up to here. You know, if we do 63% in Bitcoin, I mean, once again, back test it. Look at this green line, 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 and then go to XRP versus USD. It's this green line, this green line, this green line, this green line. It's just, it is what it is, cuzzies. So when does that happen? When Bitcoin forms its top. That's just a sad reality with XRP. XRP is like Bitcoin's hedge. It's like Bitcoin pumped, alts pumped. Now what do we do with all this profit? Let's put it to a coin that hasn't pumped yet, and then we could take our thousands of percent gains and make another 80% out of it, right? So that just seems to be the trend. It pumps last, it pumps the hardest, and then bleeds the longest, right? Pumps the hardest, bleeds, pumps the hardest, bleeds, right? So once again, this would be from here. Definitely not the stop loss. Stop loss is going to be right below your most recent support here. You could see at the 48 cents. And you're looking at take profits, not financial advice at here. 40%, 58%, 71%, and then 91%. And just let that baby ride, right? Now, to confluence and justify that hypothesis, you look at the MACD and the RSI on the longer time frame. We're in section A, we're staying above the moving average. We have room to grow to make some money. MACD, Golden Cross, we're in section A, showing me that the next couple months could be green and we should be able to break the 73 cents, head to the 85 cents, and then once again 93 and above. That's peak bull market. Let's do XDC. It's been a while since that one. This one played out perfectly, right? I mean, we called this play. I said it should come back down. Now, long-term trend, what are we looking at? We're looking at a golden cross on a weekly time frame, okay? We're looking at the RSI breaking above the moving average right here. Came down to use it as support for the first time, right? Understand that when it's bearish, it uses it as resistance, When it's bullish, this is the first sign that this could be a trend change. When does the trend change? When the long-term trend MACD golden crosses or death crosses. It's literally called a trend indicator. So because you're looking at the next week or so, literally this week or next week, you're having a golden cross, the trend is going to change on the RSI. And then the first thing that needs to go off in your mind, do we have room to grow? Yes, we have room to grow from the 51 to the 59, right? That's the first level. Then it'll consolidate. But once again, really overbought, it's around the 70. So we have room to grow to at least the first resistance level of the 59. So let's figure this out, cuzzy, right? Long-term trends, prediction, long-term, whatever, right? So resistance, resistance, resistance. Let's do this. Resistance, resistance. That seems like a greed level, right? The most important thing is the candles. The wicks was selling pressure, selling pressure, selling pressure, right? Here is current support. Boom. Now, do we have, let's look at this here. Doing it live, baby, doing it live. Fine tune it a little bit. Did we have the breakout? We have room to grow. That's what I say. We got room to grow from here to about here. I'm planning it to go back to resistance. When do we break and then do something like this? When the weekly does its MACD golden cross. And I could see it going back to 59 cents, right about here. This one's going to go to about here. So this is 13%. This is 25%. Most important thing is if the weekly, let's check XDC, BTC. Okay, we have room to grow, but if you remember my video, we could stay in the falling wedge until this chart breaks this yellow line here, and that's when the falling wedge breaks up. Okay, so we're oversold. This is called the dead cat bounce. We went down 80% versus Bitcoin. Now, some money from Bitcoin because of the profits could go to XDC. So XDC could have a little 20-30% pump. It hasn't happened yet, but it's forming a bottom. The reason why I say that is you can see wicks. Wicks are buying pressure. It's forming a bottom. When that happens, this chart has potential to go back to its greed level, like it did here and here, right? You can see wick, you can see wick, you can see wick. That'll happen when it does, and it does a 30% play when it breaks out versus Bitcoin. And then when it really breaks out versus Bitcoin is when this happens, right? Technically, you're supposed to take the pull. You would go from here to here, and this, if it lines up with a long-term trend, it does going back to major resistance. Always go to longer time frames to figure out where major buying and selling pressure is. So this play happens when she goes 170%, when this chart breaks back into the trend and goes back to this level, right? Once again, back test me. Don't take my words as the truth. When this happened, what happened with XDC? When, let's just say, this happened, what happened with XDC? When this happened, what happened with XDC? When this happened, what happened with XDC? So once again, XDC still has some time to prove itself versus Bitcoin and the dollar. But once again, we buy at support so that we have the opportunity to take profit at resistance. That's the video, folks. I love you guys. Appreciate the support. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, leave it in the comment section. Once again, not financial advice, but I do think we formed a short-term bottom and we should see some green. Enjoy the day.